Hey everyone, nice to see you all there. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on tonight's live stream. This is Tesla Tom. Hello there, nice to see you all. I am really looking forward to tonight's live stream. We've got a very special guest, which I'll introduce to you in a very short while. But as usual, we'll do the regular introductions and then we'll get into tonight's topic. Which is, of course, as you know, we are talking about Tesla Model 3 and electric vehicles in general, car sharing in Australia, and talking about everyone's experience, as well as hearing from Slava's experience, of course, being the founder and CEO of EV Rentals here in Australia, specializing in Teslas and electric vehicles. But first, let's get into some housekeeping tonight. We are doing live, of course, so make sure you leave a comment and tell me where you're watching from tonight. And also, whether you have rented a Tesla or electric vehicle before in Australia, or if you're watching from around the world, whether you've rented one in your part of the world. And what did you rent? And tell me your experience as well. Leave that in the live chat comments. And if you're watching on replay, don't forget to say hi on the comments section as well. And we are, of course, talking about Tesla Model 3 and electric vehicle car sharing. But if you want to support the channel tonight, you can do so with a super chat comment. Very easy to do so. You can support us that way. Yeah, there's also channel memberships, which I'll go through in one moment. And also PayPal. You can donate and support to us anonymously. Just use @TeslaTom, my alias there. Let's quickly just talk about channel memberships while I've got you at the moment here, everyone. So this is my webpage, ludicrousfeed.com. So we've got 3 membership options at the moment. We've got standard range, long range, and performance, starting at $3.99 a month. That'll help keep the channel independent. And you might see some of the members tonight with their customized emojis. That's what you get. Get use of those, as well as loyalty badges telling you how long you've been a member. And specialized shoutouts and priority replies during the live streams. And if you're a performance member, you have exclusive member-only polls every now and then to help improve the channel. So have a look at those membership options tonight. And that's the membership options. And of course, we are talking Model 3 and EV car sharing tonight. So welcome if you just joined us, and make sure you leave a comment in the live chat there telling me whether you've rented a Tesla or EV in the past. And if you're watching from overseas, which company did you use? If you're in Australia, which company did you use as well? And let us know of your experience as well. All right, so without further ado, I would like to introduce our special guest tonight, and that is, of course, my good friend, Slava Kozlovsky from EV. Hello, Slava.
Everyone, hi Tom, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You are more than welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. It's great fun. First time for me doing a live stream on YouTube, so looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We've got our regular viewers tonight, I can see, and hopefully we'll get. We normally get around, on average night, more than 50, sometimes close to 100 viewers live. So, yeah, get lots of questions and comments and things. So we'll go through them all in the live chat.
That's great.
I
can see the live chat's already quite busy. That's exciting. Yeah,
I can see people looking forward to chatting to you too. So, Slava, do you want to start off just by introducing yourself and, of course, your company, EV?
Yeah, of course. My name is Slava. Thanks for the intro, Tom. I launched EV in early 2016 when there was don't take me, I hope I'm not wrong, but maybe, just a few hundred Teslas in Australia. So it's very early on and it was kind of early days. I started just by basically buying and financing the first Tesla Model S. It was a decision for me to whether get a mortgage for a house or buy a car. I chose the latter and started the business.
Nice.
I soon realized that buying expensive vehicles wasn't going to work from financial standpoint. Teslas are amazing vehicles, but they still depreciate. So we kind of slowly started transitioning towards the peer-to-peer model, car sharing model that we have today.
Yep.
Yeah. And the initial motivation behind it was I was kind of looking at what Tesla were doing since probably 2014, 15, but it didn't really cross my mind to do anything about it. But then in late 2015, I thought, what they're doing is amazing, but just unaffordable to so many people. How can we make it more accessible to more people and kind of get the general public excited about electric cars? Hence, the rental and sharing model came about. Yeah.
And how many would you say are in your fleet currently at the moment?
Yeah, we actually just surpassed a milestone of 100 vehicles as of last month. So that's exciting. And more than 50 of these cars were added in 2021 alone. So yeah, we're continuing to grow rapidly. I'm sure you've seen the Tesla investor presentation. They're growing fast, and we're kind of in line with the overall electric vehicle uptake here. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations. That's 100 vehicles is fantastic. You know, having known you for the last few years, like that's it's a huge growth in your business. So congratulations. Well done.
Yeah. But like anything, thanks, Tom. But like anything, it starts with one, right? So at the beginning, it was just one. And for the first 3 years, honestly, it was 2, 3, 5, then 3 again, and then it started growing. So, yeah.
That's great. And you in every state and territory at the moment in Australia?
I'd like to say yes. Yes. Yes, we do have a vehicle in Alice Springs that covers Northern Territory, right?
Nice.
A little bit. So yeah, several cars in Tasmania and yeah, all the other major states for sure. All the major cities. Yeah.
Yep. Now, obviously, this is an obvious question probably, but what's the most popular car for rental at the moment?
Well, what do you think, Tom?
Yeah, obviously the Model 3, I would say.
Yeah, but like, what would you say if it's standard range plus or long range or performance? What's your guess?
Yeah, it's got to be the standard range, I would have thought, as a rental car.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably 60 or more than 60 vehicles on the platform are standard range plus. And it's, it's the best car, I think. And, it's called standard range, but honestly, you get 400 kilometers on full charge. And, when people realize that it's more than enough to go all the way up and down the East Coast, it's a no-brainer. And this is also the car that a lot of people are looking at buying. So they go and test drive it for a few days and kind of get to know the vehicle. And my car is actually now quite far away from where I am. I'm based in Canberra. It's like 1,000 kilometers away, being rented, and someone's just exploring the coast. So
yeah, that's cool. And do you have any non-Tesla vehicles in the fleet?
Yeah, we would love to have more. We at different points in time, when we launched in 2016, 17, we had a BMW i3, we had a Nissan Leaf, the 2012 model. They just weren't rented as much as Tesla. And at the moment, we have a Mercedes EQC in Tasmania. Cool. We have Mini that's coming up. We've had one in Perth. Now there's another one coming up in Melbourne. We got a BYD, actually, BYD E6 as of last week. Nice. Also based in Melbourne. So look, it's just a handful. Even though those are cheaper, people still just want to go and drive a Tesla. And there's plenty of reasons why. And I myself personally try to convince myself, to get an electric car other than Tesla, but I just keep going back to them. Yeah.
I think especially in Australia, it's pretty much Tesla is the market leader currently. It's just because there's just more Teslas at the moment in the country.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have any data on why people rent from EV? Is it more to do with the fact they want to test drive, or they just want an experience for a weekend, or what is it?
Yeah. We actually we researched that quite a bit, and probably very roughly maybe about a third of people who rent, it's a try before you buy. When you go and do a test drive at the showroom, it's 30-40 minutes with someone sitting next to you. I know they've been doing it remotely, so you actually do get access to the vehicle, but still it's limited time. You don't get to charge it, you don't get to go on a longer trip, so it's quite limited. But when you rent it for 2 or 3 days, you get to experience all those things. Yeah, so another group is travelers. So now it's finally starting to pick up again, although we had a bit of a downturn in January again due to Omicron numbers, but travelers for sure, interstate, and that's both leisure and business. So yeah, we know that, customers that travel from us, they don't just drive around the city, they tend to go on road trips out of the cities, doing, 160, 170 kilometers a day of driving on average. Yeah, and another customer group is probably special occasions and someone giving a gift of a Tesla experience to someone they know or love. So yeah, these are the three main reasons probably.
Yeah, they're pretty much the reasons I thought people would hire one. What about on the flip side, people who put their cars on your platform? Why do people do that? What's the reason?
Yeah, that's also an interesting one. You'd probably think just to make money, right? Which is certainly part of it. But I think in most cases it kind of goes beyond that. As you know, everyone in the EV community is very passionate, and once you start driving it and you realize the benefits of driving an electric car, it's like you just want to get it out of your chest and share with others. So a lot of people, yeah, I think they're driven by passion to promote electric vehicles, Tesla specifically, but just clean transportation in general. So they want to share the experience of driving it with others. And yeah, of course, there is a financial benefit to it at all. And, for some owners, it made sense to get one vehicle, and then now they're after buying a second one and a third one because, they're starting to build up their fleet. So we support them with everything from marketing, payments, everything that they need, but they get to own and operate a mini Tesla fleet. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we'll get into the details of actually renting a Tesla from EV. But I just want to take a comment at the moment, firstly from one of our members, Riz Akhtar. I'll just read this out. So Riz actually makes a really good point, because at the moment, with those looking for a Model S, the only way to experience one is to do it with a Tesla share platform like EV, brackets the best in Australia. So yeah, I mean, he makes a great point in that, obviously the Model S, you cannot test drive one at the moment in Australia because they're not available yet. So EV is the way to go.
That's right. Yeah. And also that comes that also goes for Tesla Model 3 performance or long range, which are starting to become available from, classic car rentals like Hertz and 6T, but the standard range plus, but not the long range or performance. Same goes for the Model X as well. I have to say we do have a limited number of Model S as well, but there are a few across the platform. Yeah. Same for the Model X.
Yeah, I hired a Model X via EV just at the end of last year, and I got to say, top notch service from the owner. Handover was smooth. Obviously, I know a bit about Teslas, so a bit easier for me. But I could see having a good owner like the person I hired from is really important as well, to have that handover process to guide you through. Because obviously, it's not just like handing over the keys with the Tesla. You need to have some sort of background knowledge of the EV first, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly the case. I don't know how many people on your channel and who's watching now have actually driven a Tesla before or not, but there's usually just basic questions of like, how do you operate the gears? Like, how do you go forward and back? If you haven't watched any videos before, then even that becomes a question. Then how do you lock and unlock the car? But if you're speaking to the owner, that person obviously knows the vehicle the best. They can guide you through every single question. And then there's also a question about charging infrastructure and what adapters they have, so they can help you, download PlugShare if needed, if you go in some, remote areas where you don't have Tesla chargers. So yeah, it's completely different to just your regular car rental key handover where, you sign a paper, they give you the keys and off you go. It can be quite different when it comes to Tesla.
Yep. And we'll talk about another company that is currently renting Teslas in a second, and your experience with them about handing over. But just to help you, Slava, with some market research, I've just put up a poll at the moment to help you. The question on tonight's poll is, have you ever driven a Tesla? And just yes or no answers at the moment. So this will help you to see what kind of people watch my channel. So yeah, we'll just watch that tick over as the night goes on.
That's great.
So yeah, going back to so you were saying there's some other rental companies at the moment. Just Harrison Kwa, one of our viewers, is saying NRMA is offering 15% off electric car rentals. You recently hired a car yourself from Hertz. As we know, Hertz is starting to roll out Teslas for hire in Australia, obviously for market research for yourself. But how did you find it as a consumer hiring a Tesla from them?
Yeah, it was very, very interesting experience. And first of all, I just want to congratulate the rental companies on finally making the move. And I think what Hertz is doing is great. Like they're just making a bold statement, we're going electric and that's it. So that's great. And I think if anything, it's only going to help us as a business also elevate our brand as well, because now people have options and they can actually look around. And when you open an EV listing, you see the owner, you see the previous reviews, you see the specific vehicle, the actual car you're going to hire, its color, inclusions, whether it's got FSD or not. When you're hiring from Hertz, for example, you just see a placeholder image of a Tesla. So it's still kind of, it's not that customized from that perspective. But yeah, once again, I'm really happy that the companies are finally starting to do it. Like the whole idea of EV is to basically to mirror the mission of Tesla, while Tesla's mission is a bit more generic in terms of clean energy. For us, it's more adoption of electric vehicles, right? So just make them more affordable and accessible. I think I deviated from your question a little bit, but I'll
no, it's good. It's good.
I'll probably go back to it. So yeah, the experience with Hertz, that was quite interesting. There were a few things, obviously, as part of market research, and it was just our idea for me to go and see what it's like. And I picked it up at Canberra Airport. The most difficult thing was to pretend that I know nothing about Tesla and that I've never driven one before. So I just wanted to let the customer service rep to guide me through and explain everything. So a few things that stood out in terms of pricing, they come up quite similar to our prices as well. Interestingly, actually, some of our cars you can find, well, the more affordable Model 3s are usually just booked out. So if you're looking for, but generally you can find a Tesla Model 3 on EV for $140, $150 if you look a few months ahead of time. A few things that stood out is obviously you don't get access to the Tesla app, which for me, I think is a really big part of the experience. So you just get the key card and, when you're charging, I didn't get notified. I drove it for 2 days. I went from Canberra to Sydney and back the next day. So you don't get charging notifications. And I swear I left the car unlocked at least 3 times during that time because it's just in my mindset to
walk away,
close the door and walk away, and it shuts itself automatically. That did not happen. So that was one thing. The handover itself, once again, I was there was probably just an education gap. And look, I have to say the person actually spent good 20 minutes with me, probably, which is surprising. Every time I rented a car in the past, it was just getting the keys and jumping in. But he guided me through the main things. I was repeatedly told that autopilot is illegal in Australia. So that was kind of funny because, I was basically driving a car that had an illegal feature in it. So I had to just stay quiet with that. And a couple of things on the charging infrastructure. I was also, he told me that I wouldn't be able to go to Melbourne and back because there's insufficient charging infrastructure. And I did that trip a few times myself back in 2016. So that's certainly more than doable. Once again, it's some things that I'm sure Hertz will catch up on. But like I said, when you're renting from an owner, you just don't have that educational gap immediately. You can ask any question about any types of plugs you need for the car and charging locations, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll just touch on the fact that you don't have the app, and that for me, that's a huge part of the experience. It's not just the cars, it's the whole infrastructure. It's the fact that the car is with you on your phone the whole time, so to speak. And having experience through EV hiring a Model X, having the car in in a foreign place, you may want to, or not in your own home, you may want the app to change the charge limit or precondition the car before you go back to it. That kind of small things that we take for granted as owners, you don't have from Hertz, and that's not as intimate. I think not having the app, for sure.
Yeah, I found it myself using Jolt charger in Motorvale in Sydney. Shout out to Jolt. So I had to physically go down to the car and check on the charging status. Like, yes, I was using the charging app, but it wasn't giving me the exact, charging state of the battery at the time. Just the amount of time I spent and how many kilowatts got into the car, but I didn't know the actual, was it 90%, 95? So I know, look, it's first world problems, right? But still, it's like once you get used to the simplicity of Tesla app, it's difficult to go back and go without it.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I guess it's not so bad for us as owners because we kind of know what we're missing. But if you're a first time, driver of a Tesla, you may be thinking, well, what's so special? Just a car, right? But you're missing out on half the fun, so to speak, or half the features without the app.
Yeah, that's right. And FSD is also a big one. I can't imagine rental companies spending, extra $10,000 on FSD for each vehicle. Some of our vehicles do have it because owners like it and they invest in it. So you would also miss out on these things. And a couple of little things I noticed, which I didn't think about it prior to jumping in the car, but there was no Sentry mode, obviously. There was no USB stick in it. So as a renter, Sentry mode actually provides you some sort of protection. If something happens to the car while you're not there, while it's parked somewhere in the public car park and something happens to the car, you can have video footage and see if there's actually a third party that was liable for the damage or not. Once again, it's all these cool things that we are used to as Tesla drivers, but you start missing them when you don't have them.
That's a very good point. I mean, just quickly also for viewers who don't own a Tesla, it's very easy to add an additional driver to the app. I think you can, well, maybe not in Australia, but certainly I think you can do it in the app now in the US. I have to double check that, but you can certainly do it from your account page online, add an additional driver as a renter. So it was quite easy.
Yeah.
I might take some comments quickly from our viewers. I've got a fan here, Tesla Fanatic. I rented a 2020 Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus from Slava. It was the best experience of my life. Wow, huge. Thanks again to Slava. How good's that?
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. Yeah, so glad to hear that. This is the best, just hearing and seeing customer stories. And, some of the best ones also when people rent a car, then they go on to buy one, and then they list it back up on the platform to share with others, that's probably... basically just fulfills the purpose of the business of the company. What we're trying to achieve. So thank you.
There you go. It's always encouraging. Aaron Blair, one of our members. Aaron says, yep, I've taken a Stealth Model 3 Performance for a test drive through EV before I got mine. There you go. There's an example right there, how you can do a test drive before you buy. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool. Did they help you with deciding whether you want a Performance one or Standard Range Plus or long range?
Exactly. You can try each one, hey, as before you buy. Yeah, hopefully Aaron will reply to that. Let's see. Any more comments? Riz is saying, "Ooh, I'd love to test drive a BYD E6. Yeah, super rare at the moment. That's very true. Although I think BYD is opening a showroom in Sydney next month, so I'm going to head down there obviously to check that out. Let's see.
Yeah, BYD from the price point perspective is just such a game changer, and it is a big vehicle. I saw a taxi, I believe, in Sydney, a BYD. The first one I've seen. And just for the price point, I mean, it does deliver 400 kilometers at least of range. I understand it doesn't have many of the features that Tesla does, but as a just practical day-to-day, almost people mover, I think it's a great car.
Yeah, can't wait to check that out. Greg Wilson makes a good point. With Tesla announcement today, the smaller/cheaper 25,000 US car is not on any short-term roadmap. I think Elon Musk said that today in the earnings call. Tesla will remain out of price for a lot of people, so car share will be the only option to experience a Tesla. There you go. So it's good news for EV, I guess, from that point of view. Jason Archer, I'm still waiting for my delivery. Makes me want to rent one for a weekend. There you go. If you can't wait to take your car, hop into EV.
Yeah.
Yep. Our first Model Y question: when is the Model Y coming out in Aussie? Oh, Slava, since you're our guest, what do you think? Tell me, when's it going to come out?
Oh God, I was asking Tom before we joined the live stream exactly that question. Look, I hope as soon as we can. Like that's what I'm personally most excited about, having two little kids, and the Tesla Model 3 is great, but just the boot space is sometimes not enough when you have two little kids. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it myself. Oh gosh.
Yep.
Should we expect it by March? I really hope no later than March.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
I reckon as soon as Berlin is on the way, I think Shanghai will have some room for us, hopefully.
Yeah.
Question for you, Slava, from one of our viewers. Do you get many rentals from existing Tesla owners, for example, Model 3 Performance, wanting to try Model S, etc., etc.?
Yes, I would say mostly when they travel, though. So it's not that they try different vehicles, but for those who own a Tesla, the experience, like an experience of driving a different car when you're traveling somewhere is kind of daunting, the idea of doing that. So when you travel to a different city and you just need a car for a couple of days, of course you would want to drive a Tesla. And we reward our owners for that, so they continue staying within the platform. So it makes sense for sure.
Yeah, that's why we hired the Model X, because we were doing a road trip basically. We wanted a bigger car, so exactly right. I think ever since owning a Tesla, like I've just been spoilt. Having had to hire a ICE car is just, it's just like going back in time, traveling on the highway, and you're rattling in the engine, and like, it's just not fun.
Yeah,
Tesla really spoilt us, haven't they, over the years?
That's right. Yeah.
Now Charles, also one of our members, Charles Gregory, it would be nice if third-party fast chargers appeared on the navigation in the car. I agree, particularly so that people renting an EV don't need to worry about plug share, selecting filters, etc., etc. Do you get issues with that?
Look, in absolute majority of cases, the Tesla network is sufficient for people who are traveling. Unless you really go in some remote areas, and the Tesla is the biggest network from what I understand today still. So yes, it would be amazing to have it integrated all in one place for sure. It's sometimes, but it's almost like when I hand over the car to renters, I just ask them to download PlugShare anyway, just to have it, see if they are looking for a charger and, not finding a Tesla one, that they could find it. But yeah, absolutely. I hope we do move in this direction, more integration. I thought ChargeFox stations do come up on Tesla navigation. I just haven't figured out sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Like I haven't figured out how well they're actually integrated.
I think because now they've like grouped them into like one lightning bolt, two lightning bolts, three lightning bolts, I think, depending on how fast they are. I think like with the ChargeFox and EVIE ones, you've got to actually like look it up on the nav. It's not easily found in those categories. So like even the NRMA ones, you can type in NRMA, whatever, wherever you want to go, but you've got to know where they are first, I think, before you do it. That's just from my experience.
Right.
We've got Paul Lipardi, one of our viewers, who just donated $5 to the chat. Thank you so much, Paul. And he said, renting a Model 3 in Brisbane worked very well for me, almost like my own car. It's good. It's good to hear.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and Riz is saying, you're changing lives, Slava. That's very encouraging. Yeah, I think you are. I 100% agree. Here we go. Aaron's replying, I was sold on the performance, couldn't step back to the LR or SR after driving the P. So he just said, forget it. Yeah. I'm taking the
P. Yeah.
That's great.
It's hard, isn't it? And then something with high performance comes up. I just remember that race, when we started, it was the P85D, then it was P90D, Model S, and then P100D, and then Ludicrous Plus, and then, obviously now we're all awaiting the new Plaid one, but it's like this 0.1 second acceleration. Yeah, the chase. Yeah,
it's crazy. The Wannabe Geek just ordered my first Tesla today. Hey, congratulations, the Wannabe Geek. Model 3 long range. Well done.
Congrats.
That's awesome. What color? What spec? Oh, okay. What spec? Long range. Let's see what color. Riz is saying Q2. Well, Riz is in the know, so hopefully you're right, Riz. Q2.
Okay.
Get back to you in April. Grant saying, as a Tesla owner, I have to drive Tesla wherever I go now. I just don't feel safe in anything else now. It's weird. Well, no, I don't think it's weird at all. I think you're absolutely right.
And safety is actually a really big thing. I mean, you, Tom, have spoken about safety on the channel about Tesla, but it's one thing that people overlook a lot, but it is practically the safest car that you can drive today. And same thing. Especially whenever I drive with my kids in the back seat, I just feel slightly unsafe if it's a different car. Less safe. Yeah. Yep.
100%. Just quickly look at our poll. 35 votes at the moment. And have you ever driven a Tesla? So we're saying 74% of people currently watching are saying yes, 26% saying no. So there you go. We've got to get a quarter of our viewers in a Tesla at the moment.
Yeah.
Now here's a question from Derek. Maybe you can answer this too, Slava. Derek Hung, is a Tesla practical if you live or travel to regional areas where charging stations are far and few between? What happens if one of these necessary fast chargers breaks down?
Yes, that can certainly be a concern. Look, the first Tesla that circumnavigated Australia was in 2016, to my knowledge, a Model S 85. So everything is doable, right? You just need to be prepared and kind of ready and have a plan B ready. In majority of cases, you just need to remember that you can plug the Tesla into any power point at all. So it can take you longer, but as a backup, it's always an option. I just remember when we had never had this issue with the Tesla, but we had a Nissan Leaf, and it showed a range of 130 kilometers, but in reality it was like 90. And I had some genuine range anxiety in that vehicle a couple of times. But what I managed to do is I just stopped at a service station, and they had this external power point. I asked them if it was okay to plug it in for a couple of hours, and they said okay. I paid them maybe $5 donation, and plugged it in for 2 hours. So that wasn't a great experience, of course, but you're okay. And look, if it comes to renting through EV, all vehicles are covered by roadside assistance nationally, so you'll definitely be looked after if that happens.
That's good. Actually, now's a good time probably to talk about, insurance, I guess. Now we're talking about sort of coverage. What's the current insurance situation with EV? Are drivers and I guess owners covered on all fronts?
Yeah, of course. That was a look. If I go back when I was studying EV, I thought we're going to create this amazing platform for people to experience and enjoy electric vehicles. And 3 months later, I was just talking to insurance people day in, day out. It was incredible. At first, they didn't even want to talk about Tesla at all because it was such a novelty that there was no history about damages, how well they drive, how safe they are. But just took perseverance and time and negotiation to actually get this over the line with insurers. And it was extremely expensive, just prohibitively expensive to insure the vehicles at the beginning for rental use specifically, not private use. But we got that on the platform secured from day one at the moment. And then it took just 4 years of negotiation until we got the prices down. So now anyone who joins AV with a car, we offer them an insurance through our partners that covers both their personal use and rental use as well. And it's within market prices. It's anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500 a year. For some people, it may be a bit more expensive, but it allows you rental use. We've also heard feedback that, wow, that's great. This is cheaper than what I quoted through, Amy or some other insurer. So, all vehicles are covered. There are some limitations in terms of the driver age. minimum 25 for standard vehicles, 25 years of age, and minimum 30 for performance vehicles. But yeah, all cars on the platform, we make sure they're all insured.
That's good.
Yeah.
I guess as a renter, like I was pretty happy when I hired the X. You know, it was, I think the price actually covered insurance as well. And then there was an option to reduce the excess, and that was only probably, I think, $20 a day more. And obviously that's a no-brainer for me. I'm happy to do that. And I think the hold on the credit card was, from memory, about $1,000. Is that right, Slava?
Yeah, so that's vehicle dependent. So for standard range plus cars, it's $500, and $1,000 for more premium cars such as Model S, Model X, and performance vehicles as well. So yeah, but you're right. We there's a company called Rental Cover. So the access on standard range vehicles for us is $3,000. Actually, another comparison point with rental cars as well, it's $6,000 when I rented from Hertz. So my damage liability was $6,000, double what you get through our platform. But yeah, you have the option to reduce that as well through a third-party company called Rental Cover. And yeah, several of our customers have successfully claimed through them as well. So the most frequent thing that happens is wheel scratches. It's just unfortunate, you know, you don't see things, and, you know, it always happens when you rent a car, you know, not when you're driving your own car, but it does happen. But, you know, we always look after these situations.
Yeah, well, that's good. So, yeah, that's good. So you haven't had any, I suppose, like majority, as you said, very, very minor things, nothing too major that's come up.
Well, we have had rental claims, of course, but we've done, you know, this probably approaching 9,000 rental days by now in total. Majority of that, once again, happened in 2021. So we have had a few rental claims, but once again, we'll look after these. Our insurance response, because it's a specialized rental insurance. So yeah, to that point, just always be careful if and when you're renting a car, just to make sure the proper rental insurance is actually in place.
100%. I might just take a comment from Peter Cook, one of our members as well. And by the way, Slava, Peter drives a Model 3, but he's also an Uber driver as well. So he's a great source of information on car sharing, or ride sharing at least. So he says ordering a Model 3 on Tesla website right now says 14 to 20 weeks to delivery. And then he talks about the Model Y. But I just want to focus on his first sentence. Do you get a surge in your fleet and in owners who want to list their cars with each delivery cycle?
Absolutely, yes. Every time. End of quarter. I know Elon Musk suggested that they have to get away from end of quarter sales and trying to rush the sales, because it just puts a strain on the whole supply chain and delivery systems. But we definitely seen that at the end of each quarter. When there's a delivery batch, we always get a bunch of vehicles on the platform. That's always the case.
Yeah, and obviously with more and more cars coming to the country, like I can just see your business growing, in accordance as well, for sure.
I'm actually surprised 14 to 20 weeks. I haven't checked it for myself because I'm not looking at buying a new car soon, but that's surprising. I remember it was between 4 and 6 weeks at some point.
No, this is true. I've definitely checked the last few times, so it's definitely definitely in short supply. The demand is there for sure. We've got one of your owners here, actually, Prosthetic Aim. I got my red Tesla Performance on EV and been on there for over a year, so there you go.
That's great. Yeah, great having you here. I I recognize the accounts, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I wouldn't call the person under, by their name if their nickname here is different. So yeah. But yeah, great having you on board. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Paul's got some insight into Model Y. So once Berlin and Austin are up and running, so Austin's Texas Gigafactory, that will free up Shanghai to export Model Y to Australia. I think that's kind of what we're saying as well. So that fits with what we're thinking. So yeah. I mean, there's such a high demand in China, right? They can supply their own domestic market and they'll be fine. So we're a small blip in their production cycle, unfortunately, in Australia.
Right. That's and from the rental perspective, it will definitely be a popular car. We were expecting it to be more popular than the Model 3, just due to families traveling, and it's got more carrying capacity and boot space.
Yeah.
Guy. Okay, Guy. Now I can say his name because he said
You did? Okay,
prosthetic aim was Guy. Great.
No, you can. Good.
Mhm.
Peter Cook makes a good point about the question from Derek before. Rapid chargers are actually more common in regional areas. It's only been in the last month or so that Sydney has started to fill out a network of DC rapid chargers. That's actually very true. If you stick to the main highways, you'll definitely hit either a Tesla or a ChargeFox or an EV. And then if you go on the other roads in New South Wales, you get an RMA charger. So that's very true. It's starting to fill out in our state. And yeah, I agree. In Sydney, we've had a few EV installs, a few Jolt installs. So yeah, 100%. Very good point.
Yeah, and also NRMA have been amazing with their strategy because they do install them in regional areas. That's what they focus on. That they want to provide and make sure that EV owners can travel to regional Australia. Yeah.
That's right. That's definitely one of the common questions I get asked. Can you go on a road trip? Easy. Now you can. Got plenty of chargers. Look at this connection here on live stream. Prosthetic aim. I hired your Stealth on EV a few months ago. It's what sold me on the M3P. How good is that?
Yeah,
real stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensei's got a question for you, Slava. So this is more about what happens if a car doesn't come back fully clean, food, drinks, spills, that kind of thing. Who pays for the cleaning costs, Slava?
Yeah, we always, as long as you have clear records of before and after and that it actually happened during the rental, we obviously look after the hosts every time, even if it sometimes comes at our own costs, like if the renter disputes, but the evidence is clear, then, we obviously look after the owners in such situations. I don't think, foods and drink spills, I don't think that actually happens that often. Like I said, the more frequent thing is curb rash, and you can repair that from $150 to $300 depending on where you are and what type of vehicle it is, and we reimburse that as well. And most of the time, renters also cooperate and reimburse for the costs. Just to understand as well that the customer base here is not someone looking to rent a $30 a day cheap Toyota Yaris. It's not someone who's just wants to thrash your car around. Most of the time, it's people who are looking at buying one, and you should be expecting that it's someone who's at least prepared to pay $150 to $200, sometimes more dollars a day to experience something that they have researched, and they probably know a thing or two about Tesla prior to hiring. So, yeah, people are generally quite respectful of other people's cars.
Yeah, that's good. I suppose there's no real way to screen a renter, is there, for those who are worried about for listing their cars on the platform?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a trust-based platform, like any marketplace. Airbnb's got a lot more experience, obviously, than we do in understanding which renters are more trustworthy than the others. We can't judge anyone on character based on the information they provide. We do screen their driver's licenses, their banking details, their driving history, but we still can't screen whether someone's going to be, reckless with the car or not. Like I said, it's minority of cases. Sometimes, obviously, it is rarely unpleasant, but in such situations, we just try to stand by the owners and, make sure they're not out of pocket for something that happened during the rental. Yeah,
that's good to hear. I'll answer this question here. If you navigate to a supercharger but put a waypoint to another charger, does it still precondition the battery? I don't think so. I think it only preconditions for Tesla. But what you can do is actually, if you've got a third-party charger close to a Tesla charger, just put the Tesla charger in as the destination, and then just quickly zip out to the other one. I think that's a good little hack for those wanting to do that.
Would it be good to force precondition the battery? Like if you're navigating to a fast charger, just click a button and say, I know I'm navigating, can you please precondition the car?
I know, right? Maybe we should ask Elon that. Someone tweet him.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, yeah. I guess the only issue is if people might abuse that and I guess reduce longevity by preconditioning it all the time. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Let's see. All right, we'll take an off-topic question from Brad, one of our members. What car seat protector for car seats do people use? My car arrives next month and want to have all my stuff ready to move the baby in. Do you have any car protectors, Slava? Seat protectors?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, look, honestly, one of them is just from Kmart. The other ones I bought online. I think it's very similar to the one sold by Tesla's accessories. What's
Tesla accessories? The Aussie one?
Yes,
Yep.
that's the one. So, but look, it's quite generic. So I got two child seats. Tesla seats are actually great. Like they last and they don't leave many marks from the child seats at all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
But look, my suggestion is don't spend too much money and don't over research the topic. The Kmart one works as well as a $100 one.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I gotta say, like having the vegan leather, like in winter. I mean, obviously Sydney winters aren't that cold, but I remember my previous cars. I used to like hop in and go like, "Oh man, that's cold," but it doesn't seem to be as cold first thing in the morning. Just quiet.
Right.
So someone asked, what is the expected range of a Tesla Model 3 SR Plus when doing primarily highway driving at 110k an hour? Peter Cook, our resident Uber driver, has answered that question. I can make it from Canberra to Sydney downhill. I'm sure Slava will agree, on a single charge, about 300 k's, but not the reverse uphill. However, I prefer to stop and not stress the battery with deep cycles. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, that's right. I've tried that route so many times in Tesla Model S, Model 3, different Model 3s, and that's exactly the case. I've arrived once with like 3 kilometers of driving range left, so that was probably less than 1%.
Wow, that's brave.
Wouldn't want to do it again. No.
That's Mark Tipping brave, isn't it? That's from the Toka president. He does that. You see his Facebook posts?
Well, when you know the car, you have the confidence that you'll do it. Like when you've driven this route many times. But if you're a new driver, I wouldn't recommend doing this. More stress than
That's right. It's a lot of bravado.
Yeah.
And Prosthetic Aim is confirming yes, curb rash is common with rentals. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any other questions and comments? Okay, so Greg Wilson saying on the earnings call today, Elon also said expect another 12 months of constraints due to chip shortages. Yeah, that's worldwide. So not sure if Berlin and Texas will help us get it faster. Oh, Greg, I hope you're wrong. We want it quick. That's funny. And Wannabe Geek says it literally changed from 6 to 12 weeks, which is when I think you probably last checked, Slava, to 14 to 20 weeks for delivery in the last week or so. I was nearly read to last week, and it was the shorter timeline just changed. Yep.
Right.
And Riz is saying Model Y first customers deliveries to the UK this weekend. There you go. That's good. Good to hear.
That's fantastic.
Let's see.
I just realized that I might have answered the question wrong in terms of seat protectors. I don't know if the chat member was referring to the baby seat protectors or just the regular, like the driver seat protectors. I was talking about the baby seats. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's important too. Yeah. I was thinking of driver's one, like sheepskin.
Okay. That wasn't what I was referring to.
That's all right. Brad knows what you're talking about. He's spent enough on the car. Kmart it is.
Great.
Let's see. Okay, so Prosthetic Aim saying my experience of over 75 days hired out. The car has only been damaged 3 to 4 times, and the costs were covered by the hirer promptly with no issues. That's good. And that's why I do not mind hiring it out. As you said, a lot of your renters are respectful, it seems.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah, great to know. Our support team is based in Australia. They know what the cars are like. It's once again, it's a different experience from they've driven the cars themselves. They have an experience. They're exposed to the vehicles. They know what it's like. So you'll definitely be looked after from this point of view as well. You won't be redirected to a customer support center in the Philippines. If you contact us.
That's good. Australian based. I just want to quickly thank the Wannabe Geek for supporting us. $14.99. Love the channel, Tom. Have to run. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the Tesla. That's great. Thank you very much. Look, Slava, in the last few minutes of the stream, I just want to, I guess, let's dream together. Like, where do you see EV in the next, let's say, 5 years? What's your 5-year plan with the EV, with the way things are going in the country?
Yeah, look, we're seeing such a rapid growth at the moment. In general, about electric cars, I mean, now there's clearly no doubt that, it is the future. And, if 5 years ago it was a lot harder to convince people that this is the future, today, I think more and more people are jumping on board and understanding what's going on and where we're headed. Yeah, for us as a company, we're definitely looking at expanding to other countries as well, New Zealand first, and then followed by the UK and other countries as well. So we've got our own tech team, design team, marketing team. So we're definitely prepared to do that. So I'm really just excited about the growth, and the motivation remains the same. We just want as many people as possible to experience an electric car, whether it's Tesla or not, and hopefully get excited about the possibilities of driving one. So yeah.
And, obviously 2022, there's a lot of EVs coming on the market, not just Teslas. Obviously, you've got the Ioniq 5 now, EV6 is coming out soon, the Polestar 2 is in the country. I saw the Cupra Born recently being tested somewhere. What else is coming out? The BYD is obviously opening a showroom in Sydney. So, 2022, lots of options. I mean, obviously you don't want to just be Tesla, you want to be all-inclusive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was always the case from the beginning, but we just can't go against what the government, the customers, are asking for. It's Tesla is the most in demand vehicle at the moment, and I understand why. But we would love to have more vehicles. Yeah, I remember also a few years ago, when there was already 10 or 15 different electric car models available in the UK, and we had 3. I'm so glad that things are changing at the moment. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the New South Wales government here in my home state, we've got incentives, so there's reasons to buy. Fuel prices are going up. I mean, I just passed one that was $1.79 today, so people are starting to think, well, if prices stay up, it makes sense to drive an EV. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that's happening. We've seen, once again, we've seen the examples of Norway with the incentives very early on. I think they had incentives, don't get me wrong on these, but as early as 2009 or even late 90s, they already had incentives for electric cars. Yeah, and look at it now, more than 50% of new cars are electric, if not more than that. Yeah,
exactly. We've got a comment here from Sensei. I love Sensei's comments. Slava and EV will become a deca-millionaire when they ban petrol diesel cars on 30th December 2024, and people come in droves to EV to rent an EV car. What do you think about that? That's only 2 years away.
I need to put the zeros together. What's a deca-millionaire? What's
10, right? 10 mil? Is that enough for you?
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Look, there's the writing's on the wall. To me, it seems like it was 5-6 years ago when I was starting the business. I saw this coming from, and I also have engineering background, and it's like when you see something that is so much more efficient, safer, and easier to produce, and 100 times less moving parts in something, it's just going to happen. It's a new technology overtaking another one. So I saw that happening early on.
Good.
And hopefully, we'll definitely be there. Yeah.
Well, we'll keep to.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah. We'll get you back in 2 years' time, and maybe you can start, raining on us some your deca millions. Speaking of which, I got my $1 from Tesla Fanboy. Thank you very much, Tesla Fanboy, for that very donation. Thank you very much. Riz makes a good point. All the MY22 models are in quite small quantities, so EV sharing platform might be the only way to try one this year. Good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting because some people specifically look for, say, a unicorn Tesla Model 3 SR Plus. People who've done their research and they want specifically hire that car. And I do think we have at least one of them available in Sydney. So yeah, should be able to find one.
Do you get a lot of cars that are modded? Not just mods, but like also wrapped, like in odd color. Well, not odd, but like unique colors and unique styling. Does that happen on your platform?
Yeah, some of them. There's a couple of very interesting vehicles. Actually, we've had one sort of a corporate vehicle. It's owned by a developer, Kingsborough Village, a really nice kind of set of apartments in Canberra. They've had the vehicle for over a year on the platform, renting out to both residents and non-residents alike. Yeah, so they had the branding on the vehicle. Don't have insights on whether that actually puts people off or not. The car has been rented out, people do take it for rent. Then some others as well, they wrap the car completely, and we're completely fine with that, and the insurance does cover it as an additional accessory. So you might have your premium increased slightly by adding those extras to the vehicle, but it will definitely be covered. So say it gets scratched, the wrapping would be replaced and covered by the insurer as well, if that happens.
Yep, cool. Quick question from Brad. When putting your car in EV, what costs are involved? Do you need to pay a fee to have it available? What do you get back from having it available? Cost per hire?
Yeah. Great. Good question. We kind of just jumped into it assuming that it's obvious, but
yeah,
it's probably not. Yeah, there's no fees for listing the car. The only thing you have to do is switch the insurance to our partner provider, which provides you with rental coverage and covers your personal use as well, unless you already have a rental insurance as part of a fleet. So for example, we have a rental company in Tasmania, and they have maybe a couple of dozen vehicles, and 3 of them are Tesla. So we only they don't need to switch the insurance. They're already part of a rental insurance in their fleet. So that's the only kind of upfront thing you need to do. And you also need to update your CTP requirements. I mean, registration based on the state that you live in. We've got all the information in our help center and for it. And after that, we simply take a 35% commission, and up to 10% of that also goes towards the insurance. The insurance is still very expensive and costly because it's rental, different drivers driving the cars all the time. So it costs a lot. But that's our commission structure. And everything else just goes to you. If there's a delivery charge, we don't charge commission on that. So, if someone pays an extra $100 to deliver the car to the airport, that all goes to you. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
So if it's not rented out, you're not paying anything. If it's rented out, you get the 65%.
Yep. No, that's good. Peter Cook asks, how do you feel about EV networks borrowing most of your name?
Yeah.
Or is that too touchy?
Yeah. Well, look, we'll see how it evolves. I can say that our name is trademarked for rental use. So look, we'll just need to wait and see, because trademark is, as you know from Tesla's experience, as well, how they couldn't have the Model E. That's why they went for the 3.
Yes.
Things are a bit slow and dry in the trademark world. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, we do have the trademark to use for rental vehicles and hiring vehicles out for our name. There might be a bit of a dispute. We'll see. But at the same time, we have been in contact with the guys and trying to work out potential collaborations and whether we could, co-promote to our customers. And so yeah, we'll see. We haven't nothing has come to life yet, but we've definitely been in touch with them. It's, at the moment, it's a growing industry for everyone. So we're just trying to be supportive as well. So
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's very diplomatic. Yep. Good. Sensei asks, will EV have any BMW iXs for hiring soon, or are they a while away?
I really hope so. Look, we'll be reaching out definitely to wider electric vehicle communities to try and find them. We had Audi e-tron, and I think Tom actually got to drive it. Actually, it was both of us. Yeah, so we had Audi e-tron end of last year, both of them. So look, some of the cars come and go. What you're seeing today is just a snapshot of the vehicles that we have available, but some of them, people sold them, moved on. The car sharing model is no longer working for them because they've moved, or things happen. So hopefully we'll have them, as soon as they're available in public. Same goes for Polestar and others, but can't definitively answer your question, unfortunately, right now. There's no one on the wait list at the moment. Yeah.
Yep. Ken asks, is there a kilometer limit for the rental?
Yeah, so at the moment it's 250 kilometers a day. That's cumulative over your rental period. So if you rent for 4 days, that's 1,000 kilometers in total. And then there's a small per kilometer charge on top of that. We're looking at restructuring that actually, because some owners are happy for you to just drive as much as you want and, and return it. And other owners are a bit stricter with this. So yeah, always when you rent, we just wanted to establish a baseline. We know that on average, people travel 160 kilometers a day across all rentals. So 250 is more than enough for average, right? We just want to protect the owners as well from someone, which has happened, from someone, renting a car for 24 hours and going Melbourne, Sydney and back, cranking up 1,800 kilometers. So yeah, we don't want that to happen, but yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I think 250 is more than enough for the average family road trip, 100%. I think we might maybe finish up there. Slava, is there anything else you want to add or round up the conversation tonight before we close?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. I just wanted to say thank you to you too as well. We met the first time, I was probably a year into studying business, EV, and you had just a few hundred subscribers maybe at the time. So, but you've been a great supporter since then. And yeah, we've got up many times. So yeah, it's been great having you and supporting the channel, and yeah, just referring people to us as well. So it's been great help. And yeah, just a pleasure being here, doing my very first live stream and chatting to all the people. It's been great fun. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're more than welcome, Slava. And yeah, it's been great knowing you the last few years and watching your business grow as well. And EV has just grown leaps and bounds, and from a few cars to now 100. So again, congratulations. And I'm sure it'll be 1,000 cars very, very soon. We've definitely got that enough cars coming, hopefully, to support that in the next few years. I just want to finish the poll before we end as well. So tonight's poll question was, have you ever driven a Tesla? I think 69 votes is a good place to stop. So when we stopped the poll, we had, let's see, I'm just waiting for it to come up. I think I saw 70% of people tonight, 69% of people have driven a Tesla, and 30% haven't yet. So there you go. It's a third of people watching tonight are just very interested in seeing how Teslas work. So yeah, good to know too. All right, everyone. So we might finish there, and I'll just say thank you in the chat so you know. And thank you, Slava. So thank you again, Slava, for tonight. And well done on your very first live stream. Very informative. And
thank you.
I'm sure our viewers are very thankful, and I certainly learnt a lot as well from you and others. So yeah, love doing these live streams, and you're more than welcome to come back anytime to if you've got any updates.
I honestly really enjoyed it. It's been great. Thank you everyone again. Thanks, Tom.
Pleasure. Thanks, Slava. I'll let you go. I might chat to you off screen in a sec, but I'll just take you off. So thanks again, Slava. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone. And again, thank you very much to Slava Kozlovsky, owner and founder of ev.com.au. Please check out the website, ev.com.au. Don't forget my coupon code TESLATOM for $30 off your first rental. For whatever reason you want to borrow a Tesla for a few days. We've said it before, to try it out before you buy, for a road trip, as a gift. So they're kind of the big three reasons if you haven't driven a Tesla or been in a Tesla before. If you're thinking of buying one, certainly a great reason to check out Slava's ev.com.au. All right, everyone, that's it from me tonight, and for this Thursday's live stream. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you at the next live stream next Thursday night. Until then, happy charging.